Hi folks, thanks for joining again for another tip and trick from today's Book of Secrets. I'd like to talk about wills and testaments today. I found some really interesting tips in this book that can help everybody with building of their will. Oops, sorry for my camera. So some of these interesting tips was to include a simultaneous death clause, just in case you and your partner happen to both be in an accident that kills you both, or something common disaster happens and you both are gone. You want to have a simultaneous death clause in place so that there's no arguing or fighting with the rest of your family in the situation. Consider a no contest clause. So that sort of prevents other people from suing other people involving the decisions of that will, okay? And you could include the no contest clause that if somebody does challenge the will and takes it to court, they would then at that point forfeit their share, I guess you could say. So tailor your bequests to the beneficiary, and definitely leave property to each beneficiary. You want to make sure that you've defined each person and what they're getting and what you'd like them to have, okay? And it would also depend on the age and experience and financial sophistication of the person as far as, you know, which piece of it they should get. Avoid giving complicated or risky investments. So if you've done any of that offshore banking and all of that stuff, you might want to just leave that to one person particularly instead of trying to divvy that up. It gets to be a little bit messy when you're trying to deal with paying taxes on stuff before it's dispersed to everybody. So. And then definitely don't leave property in joint ownership. So you want to make sure that you individually leave people their own little piece of what you'd like them to have, just so that there's no arguing, there's no fighting and all of that stuff. That's kind of the last thing you want to do when you're dealing with wills and somebody's passed away, right? So don't give undivided fractional interest. So you want to make sure that you definitely have your numbers marked down pat as to what you want to give each person. And consider percentages. Inflation happens many times over the years, so something that you may have put away under certain numbers in the past may not be the exact numbers that it is once you've passed away, and inflation may not have been anticipated as much. So you maybe want to just give, rather than dollar amounts, do percentages, okay? And I mean, if this is something that you would like to do ahead of time in life, but before you're getting to the age of thinking about passing away. So if you go and see a lawyer, and I think it's a small fee of a couple $100, and you can file your will with them. You can also revoke your will at any time, and that would be destroying that in front of another person. And then there's also the holographic wills. I really like that. So for all of us that maybe procrastinate and we just haven't had enough time in life to help with all of these arrangings of our situation in our life, you could go with a holographic will and testament. I looked that up just to make sure that I had all the right information for you guys. But also a really interesting tip when if you are on your deathbed, you can just write out a will and testament and sign that, and as long as you've done it in your own handwriting and it's you that's dying, then that will and testament will hold up in court. So those are my tips and tricks for today's tips. So take care, folks, and we'll see you again. Thanks for watching.